has decided to prioritize the lanes based on the results of the previous round, which is clearly in our rules to deal with windy conditions in important events. So they took the results from the semifinals, obviously yesterday, Hugh, and in lanes 5 and 6, you'll find the fastest, the semifinal.
Good.
This is a way to help bunch together the crews that are
so you've got the best people have the easiest lane, or the prospect, if it was to turn into a crosswind. But in your opinion, do you feel that
for National Olympic Committees to make their selections for the in order to allow the crews to go to the Olympic Games or not? Many crews are being judged at this regatta based on these results, so it doesn't change. If there is not a big effect, it doesn't change anything. If there is a slight effect, it helps us make sure that the crews get a ranking.
In lane 2, we have Lassi Karonen of Sweden in lane 3. We have Olof Tufte, the Olympic champion, in lane 4. We have Ondrej Siniak of Czech Republic in lane 5. And we have Alan Campbell of Great Britain, the fastest qualifier yesterday, in lane 6. So he was, as I say, the fastest qualifier, and as Matt has just explained, that's why he's in lane 6 today. And the camera is, however, going to concentrate on Olaf Tufte as the reigning champion in lane 4. Clean start there for the men's single sculls. Camera straight back onto the cynosure of every eye, Marcel Hacker. This is the man who blows hot and cold, and when he's hot, he is dynamite, as he was winning the World Championships back in 2002 in Seville, and he has half a length on the field as we go into the first couple of hundred meters of this race. Back on Olaf Tufte. Now, this is a man who has also fairly mercurial performances, but he really trains hard right the way through the season, does not let the accelerator off the floor at all, and comes to these regattas sometimes quite tired, and you get very volatile performances from him. Back on the fastest qualifier, a man who set out his stall yesterday, getting a really fast start and following the same race pattern today, Alan Campbell for Great Britain. Campbell, living actually in Coleraine in Ireland, spent the winter training there a lot and did a lot of off-the-water training with the usual military exercises of running up hills with sandbags and sawing telegraph poles, because he is in the British Army and a graduate of Sandhurst Military Academy, where he didn't do so much of the sculling, which has now turned him into a World Championship finalist and a very, very likely medal hope for this year. It's worth observing that the winner of the Olympic single sculls in 1972 and in 1976 was in each case the man who had finished 5th in the World Championships the year before. So his position of 5th last year in this regatta course at the World Championships was a very good indicator that he's going to be right there and possibly in pole position come Beijing. These conditions suit him. He's a very strong man. I talked about the strength training he does through the winter, and he can in some instances use his strength to advantage in the headwind, where he can get slightly blown off his feet and find that the power is harder to apply in very fast tailwind conditions. Missing from this final is the man whose name has become synonymous with single sculling success since he came out of the New Zealand Coxless 4, which had finished low down the field in Athens in 2004 and won the single sculls in Gifu in 2005 and Eton 2006, Munich 2007, and he is going to be the favourite regardless of what Campbell or anybody else does today when they get to Beijing in August. Coming up on the far side, another strong man, late emerger into sculling. You can see Lasse Karonen of Sweden pulling up into second place. Karonen of Sweden began rowing in a very non-competitive way, rowing in a church boat, rowing among the islands in Sweden, and gradually got drawn into the competitive end of the sport. I misread that as we came into 1,000 metres. I thought he was further ahead, but it was the camera angle that betrayed me. Actually, Sweden in fourth place there. So at that 1,000-metre mark, we had Great Britain in the lead, 1.5 seconds, 1.5 seconds up on Ondrej Siniek of Czech Republic, silver medalist last year. We have Olaf Tufte of Norway in third position, half a second behind. Then Sweden just behind him, very, very close together. Marcel Hacker, after that early lead, is, as so often these days, I'm afraid, dropping back down the field into fifth place. And André von Aberg of Switzerland, who is slightly overplaced in this final here. He would not normally expect to get in a final if Drysdale had been on the field, and as a consequence, he is back in sixth place. That is also the seeding, as we learned from Matt. The fastest qualifiers are on this side, and you can see that the field is now arrayed across in a sort of chevron, sorry, not a chevron, in a hash from 6 down through 1. Campbell looking very strong. He carries that grimace of a smile. He was challenged a bit there by Ondrej Siniek at about 1,000 metres, just before the 1,000 metres, and after there, and he got drawn back a bit but has pulled back out, and that 1.5 seconds lead is representative of the 1 length in a single scull. And so as they come into the last quarter of the race, 1,500 metres gone, 500 metres to go. Campbell through the line with a little bit of open water on Siniek, on Tufte, on Karonen. Half a length separating each of those three crews going back. And then Hacker and von Aberg struggling in fifth and sixth place. Really out of touch now. Germany, Marcel Hacker, 10 seconds adrift of the leader, and Switzerland, von Aberg, 18 seconds adrift of the leader as they come into the last 500 metres. Question now is, can Siniek, who has a devastating finish, can really wind that boat up? Former double sculler, came into the single, and he's emerged onto the scene in the course of the last Olympic cycle. So here are two relative new boys, and they both got a lead on Olaf Tufte, the reigning champion, who was a silver medalist in the double scull himself back in Sydney in 2000 before switching to the single. But as we come into the last 250 metres, there's the 250 metre signal there. There is Campbell in a confident lead over Siniek, and there would have to be some devastating response. And if anybody has the ability to raise the rate and hammer it home, it is indeed Campbell. He and Bill Barry, his coach, train for this moment again and again, and as the rate comes up, it's very smooth. Quick look across there, you saw him turn to his right to see how the Czech Republic Siniek is going. Siniek also raising the rate, but he's not really drawing those finishes through in a way that would challenge Campbell, but he has come up, and it's now half a length as they come underneath the commentary position with 50 metres to go through to the final finish line. Siniek has drawn back to 1/3 of a length overlap on Campbell, but Campbell is safe in the lead and going to take the yellow vest as winner of this World Cup round in a very confident and well managed race. Siniek second, Tufte third, and Karonen fourth. We will wait a little while Marcel Hacker of Germany, who is living in this course at the finish line there, is over the line, and von Aberg now just bringing up the rear, but with no real hope of success. Seventh place, that is to say first of the B final, went to its top season for success aimed at Beijing, and will be pleased, I think, with that silver medal. Tufte also on plan